All right, welcome back. Today we're cracking open some of the most dangerous files from a very secret, very important organization. We're talking about files that detail the things that go bump in the night and, the things that will snap your neck if you so much as blink. Let's get into it. But first, let me just ask you this. What if all those things you were scared of as a kid were actually real? What if every shadow held something ancient, something hungry? What if there were fundamental rules to reality you never even knew about, and breaking one of them was the last mistake you'd ever make? Well, in the universe we're diving into today, that's not a what if. It's just how things are. And the only thing standing between our nice, normal world and complete and utter chaos is the SCP Foundation. Their entire job is to find these strange, impossible things, these anomalies, and lock them away from the rest of us. Today, we're going to look at what happens when that containment fails.
We're going to start with a specific kind of horror. The anomalies that, believe it or not, come with a rule book. They operate on this kind of twisted logic that preys on our fear of making one single fatal mistake. If you follow the rules perfectly, you just might live. But you slip up, even for a second, it's game over.
And where else would we start but with what is arguably the most famous anomaly of them all, the one that kicked this whole thing off, SCP-173, also known as the Sculpture. And yeah, you can see it looks like this crude, almost kind of silly-looking statue. It's completely harmless, as long as you never, ever, ever take your eyes off of it. So here's the terrifying catch, the absolute instant that all lines of sight are broken. And I mean for a fraction of a second. It moves, and it moves with impossible speed, like across a room in the blink of an eye. Its only goal? To snap your neck or strangle you. That's why the Foundation procedure requires at least 3 people in the room, so they can all coordinate blinking one at a time. It is the ultimate staring contest, and the price for losing is, well, your life. Next up, we have SCP-096, the Shy Guy. Now, this thing is a tall, emaciated humanoid that's usually completely docile. Seriously, it just sits in its cell, facing a corner, crying. It just wants to be left alone. But there's one rule you absolutely cannot break. Never, ever look at its face. And the trigger for this thing is just terrifyingly sensitive. You don't need a clear look. You don't even have to see it in person. It has been triggered by a photograph, by a video recording, even by just 4 nearly invisible pixels of its face in the background of an old picture. The moment you see it, even that tiny fraction of it, it knows. And it knows where you are. Once it's triggered, SCP-096 enters what they call a rage state. It'll scream for a couple of minutes, and then it will run. It will smash through walls, run across entire continents. It will even dive to the bottom of the deepest ocean trench to get to the person who saw its face. Absolutely nothing can stop it. There is no hiding. It will find you, and it will tear you to pieces. Okay, this next one is different. It's a conceptual monster. This SCP isn't triggered by something you see, it's triggered by information itself. It's the literal embodiment of the phrase, "Don't say its name." And trying to contain it is this unique and really terrifying challenge. It's simple, really. If you speak about this entity, it appears, and it takes you away. If you write about it, it appears, takes the text, and then it takes you. Now, you can see how this creates a huge problem for an organization like the Foundation, which is built on meticulous documentation. So what's their solution? Pictures. The only safe way to communicate anything about it is through pictograms and symbols. It's a monster that literally eats information, along with the people who try to share it. And now we escalate. The last group of anomalies, they had rules you could follow. These next ones, they don't care about rules. They represent the fear of inevitability. They are relentless predators. If they decide they want you, they will get you. It's not a question of if, it's only a matter of when. This is SCP-106, better known as the Old Man. He looks like this decaying elderly figure that's just covered in this black, corrosive slime. His most terrifying ability is that he can pass through solid matter. Walls, reinforced steel bunkers, lead-lined containment cells, none of it means anything to him. He just phases right through like they're not even there. And when he catches you, oh, it gets so much worse. He doesn't just kill you. No, that would be too easy. He pulls you into his own personal pocket dimension. It's this nightmarish labyrinth of trenches and rooms where he hunts you for sport.
He's a predator who genuinely enjoys playing with his food, psychologically breaking his victims down until, eventually, he just gets bored and lets them die. There is no escape. Let's move on to something with a more seasonal flavor of terror. This is SCP-4666, the Yule Man, and he is a horrifying, twisted parody of Santa Claus. Every year between December 21st and January 2nd, it targets a single family living in an isolated home with one condition. They have to have at least one child under the age of 8. Its hunt is this slow, methodical home invasion. For the first week, it just watches them from the woods. Then, it gets closer. The family starts hearing knocks, seeing strange figures outside their windows. The dread just builds and builds until the 12th and final night, when it finally comes inside. It brutally kills the parents and any other children, but it abducts the youngest child, taking them back to its workshop to be forced to make these grotesque toys from the remains of other children.
We've seen monsters you can outsmart and monsters you can't outrun. Now, we arrive at the final category, forces of nature. These aren't just creatures anymore, these are existential threats that defy containment, defy control, and sometimes they defy our entire understanding of life itself. So, meet SCP-682, a massive reptilian beast whose entire being is defined by one core characteristic: an all-consuming, intelligent hatred for all life. And that's the key word there, intelligent. This isn't just some dumb animal. It's smart, it's calculating, and it despises humanity with every single fiber of its being. This is how it gets its nickname, the hard-to-destroy reptile. You have to understand the Foundation has thrown literally everything they have at this thing. They have tried dissolving it in acid, burning it with extreme temperatures, blowing it to bits. They've even used other powerful SCPs to try and kill it. And every single time, it regenerates, often adapting to whatever was just used against it. Its body is just a vessel for pure, unstoppable rage and resilience. And this single word, this tells you everything you need to know about its motivation. After one of its containment breaches where it slaughtered a group of local farmers, the Foundation managed to ask it why. Its response? Disgusting. There's no complex reason. It kills us because it finds our very existence to be offensive. Okay, so this next threat isn't a single entity you can fight. It's an infection. SCP-610 is a contagious skin disease that rapidly and horribly transforms its victims. It corrupts and reshapes living tissue, turning people and animals into these shambling, unrecognizable masses of flesh, often fusing them together into large, pulsating structures. It just consumes and corrupts and spreads.
And for our final entry, we have a different kind of unstoppable force, a truly tragic one. SCP-1440 is an elderly man who is cursed. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. In fact, he actively tries to stay away from all human contact. But his very presence is a catalyst for catastrophe. The longer he stays in one place, the more destructive the events around him become, escalating from small accidents to full-blown natural disasters that can wipe entire towns off the map. He is a walking, talking apocalypse, doomed to forever bring ruin wherever he goes.
So, after going through these absolutely terrifying files, what's the big takeaway here? The SCP Foundation isn't just containing monsters. They're containing different fundamental types of fear itself. You've got the threats that punish you for making a single mistake, your own failure. Then you have the threats that hunt you down with relentless persistence, where none of your choices matter. And finally, you have threats that are just a fact of the universe, unstoppable forces of hate, disease, and pure destruction. We've gone from personal failure all the way up to cosmic horror. And that really brings us to the final chilling thought. What we've looked at today are just a handful of the thousands of anomalies the Foundation has on file. They represent the nightmares we can at least begin to comprehend. And it leaves you with one really big question. If these are the horrors they've managed to find, document, and barely contain, what else is still out there, just waiting in the dark?